guys, it's Alyssa back here on Alyssa JTV. If you don't know me, I'm Alyssa, and today, I can't believe I'm doing this. I can't believe I'm making this announcement video. So, we already know I'm not consistent with uploading. Shocker, right? But there's reasons for that. I didn't just stop because I don't feel like it or whatever. It's because, as you guys have seen by stuff I have uploaded, I've been working on a short film that I put a trailer out for last year that still isn't done. We'll get into that. I also have done stuff for my school, like as you saw the Wonka view for the Wonka show that took place. And then the full show, if you saw it on my school's website, I don't believe it's there anymore. And then I also did the band concert, and then I did the school musical. I'm going to be doing the other dance show that's going to be happening, plus a choir concert. I take my production company, Alyssa JTV, which is not just my channel, it's my actual brand, my production company, and to do these things for them. I basically work for them, but without the paycheck, which I'm totally fine with. So I've been doing that, and it has taken a lot of my time to edit hours of footage, because the last 3 things that I did were over an hour long. I think one was kind of 2 hours, almost 2 hours, plus the little bonus features that I do with them. And then I've also been doing a lot of schoolwork, considering it's the last 9 weeks, the home stretch of my sophomore year. I've been getting things set up for my production companies, because I have to, for next year. And then I have my actual job. But then also there's my writing career. As most of you guys know, I am a writer. I love writing a lot, being able to create a story, a plot line, what for fiction, or thinking about something that happened and writing a nonfiction story. I've been writing ever since I was in 2nd grade. I knew from the stupid assignment that we did that was write a fiction or nonfiction story, and you'll be able to read it to the class, and they have to guess if it's nonfiction or fiction. Not everyone got called on. I did not get called on, but I wrote this stupid story that I then fell in love with, and even when the assignment was over, because it was literally not even an hour assignment. It was a very quick assignment, because we were in 2nd grade. I wrote 6 stories about that, 6 sequels or 6 movies, something like that about it. And that's when I knew I loved writing, and I fell in love with it. And I've written a lot of things since then. And I've always wanted on this channel, as I've done with my covers, and I plan on doing more dance videos and things like that, to put out my writing and say, hey, this girl wrote this when she was this young, this girl wrote this now, or things like that. But I haven't been able to do that because I can't copyright and or publish a lot of my stories. And even though I've poor man's copyrighted them, that still doesn't solve the publishing issue. For you guys that don't know, poor man's copyright is basically where you get your script or your thing, and you mail it to yourself, so that way when the date comes up on the stamp, when it gets marked, you can, if someone tries to steal your idea, you say, hey, even though it's not copyrighted, it's poor man's copyrighted, here's the proof. You can win the lawsuit that someone filed against you, or you're filing on the person for stealing your idea, which I have done for a lot of my stories. So if anyone were to steal my stuff, then I'm protected, and I can get my credit back for my work. So even though I've done that with a lot of my stories, I haven't been able to publish them, so I can't show them to you guys like I want to. So I came up with the idea that I would poor man's copyright my stories, and read them to you guys on the channel, kind of like an audiobook, something like that. You just don't have a copy in front of you. At least not yet anyway. And I was going to do that with a story that I wrote in middle school, and then touched up and redid in my freshman year, because I was originally going to make that a short film. Didn't end up working out. but I still love the story and I wanted to show it to you guys. But recent events have led me to go on a full writing spree, and I wrote, well, you guys know by the title of the video, I wrote a Shadow Trilogy. Now, the reason it's called a Shadow Trilogy is because the covers of all 3 stories are shadows. Shadows representing the people that the stories are about. And disclaimer, the shadow pictures are not the actual people. So don't try to look for their faces or if I blocked it out or anything. No, the shadows are not the real people. I just literally Googled shadow people of this, or shadow of a girl, or shadow of a guy, or this or that. And so you can look up the pictures if you want to and find them on Google pretty quick. I found them all within 5 minutes. So none of those photos are them. I just picked the ones that looked either the most like them or what I wanted to represent for the story. So I wrote 3 for being a trilogy, and I decided to make that my first move in this for my channel of what I want to do. So think of the video that you're watching right now, not just as an announcement video, but as that little author's note, on a book, on the book jacket, where it tells about the author, because sometimes they do it on the back, but most of the time they do it on the inside as well. So think of this as that you're reading, because there's going to be a lot in this video that I have to cover to protect not only myself, but others involved that are not the people I'm attacking, essentially. Shortly following after this video will be the first audio story that you will hear. It is called The Dynamic Douchebags. It is about 2 people that have been in my life for the last 4 to 5 years, depending on how you're counting the years. I believe it's 4 going by year, and then 5 if you're going by school years. But either way, it's been a long time, way more than it should have been, for these 2 people to still be in my life and doing what they are doing to me to this day. And I thought all this was settled back then, especially when I got the school board involved. I was in the office way more than I was in the classroom for these people. And just thinking about it's just crazy. And I thought everything was fine, but I know that the school that I went to from middle school did really nothing about it except for basically a slap on the wrist. I got more lost. I can't speak English. I lost more than they did, as they, to this day, are still thriving, still getting things handed to them on a silver platter. They do work, I will not lie. One of them is a very great singer and dancer. The other one has a voice, I'm not gonna lie, but bit messy. And that's just my opinion. Of course, her friends are going to love her. Of course, her parents are going to love her. But my opinion's my opinion. I'm entitled to it. Which goes into my next thing, that if any of the people that are in the stories, they obviously know who they are because they lived through it just as much as I did, because they were doing all of it to me. They cannot ask me to take it down, or, well, they can, but I won't. And if they come at me in legal ways, or they say go to the school board or law or anything like that, I cannot take it down because I have censored all of your names. I have censored anything relating to what the actual department is. By that I mean I refer to studio or dance room, or I don't say the actual company name for each of those things. So it can't be for that. I censored adults' names. I censored kids' names. I barely even said my name in it, and I wrote it. And I'm the main person of the damn freaking story. So I can't get repercussions for that. And also this essentially, because I have gotten everything looked at to protect myself, this is my freedom of speech to do this, because it is something that happened to me. If it was something that happened to my friend that you did, fair enough. I agree that I probably shouldn't be saying anything unless asked to by an administrator or something like that. However, this is me, and this has been going on for years. I have every right to post this and talk about this, considering how I never got my side of the story out, really. Everyone listens to y'all. And fair enough, they're your friends. However, other people that you don't know that are my friends, you try to do that to. Or if they were my friends and then they became your friends, you try to manipulate them to turn on me. And I don't appreciate that for obvious reasons. I honestly don't. I say in the story, I honestly don't know what I did to these people that was so bad when everything was basically lies, slander, harassment, that whole rabbit hole. And because the school board did basically nothing when I was in middle school, except for a slap on the wrist to them, I lost pretty much everything that I had. I was like, okay, the school does nothing. I then get to high school and it continues. My mother called my counselor like within the first week to warn her about possible drama and upcomings that may happen during the year. And eventually it happened and she was like, wow, you weren't kidding. I'm like, nope. Every year something happens. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when and how big. I basically, when the new year starts, I just count down the days to see how long it takes. This year, though, it seems like things have been kicked into hyperdrive, which has now caused me to write this. The second one is called The Cold-Hearted President, which will be out the day after this is uploaded, because I'm filming this beforehand. It is about a situation with a senior. The other two are seniors too. The dynamic douchebags, they're both seniors. This one's about another senior who I thought was a little weird when we first met and knew that there was something up, but then showed himself to be nice, and I thought I misjudged, but like I always know, my gut is never wrong, which is a blessing and a curse that I possess most of the time anyway. And turned out to backstab, lie, and essentially ruin a lot of things for me and caused a lot of mental health problems. The first ones did too. I talk about it in my story that everyone involved in all three stories has caused a lot of mental health issues for me. I don't want to talk about it here, like as to my face. My stories are different because I already know that I'm probably going to get a lot of shit for it, considering that a lot of people claim to have mental health issues or anxiety or depression because of the society we live in. But I think that pretty much like ruins the people that actually do have it. I feel like people just say it to be like, oh, I'm trendy, I have it. That's like the way our generation is now. And I really don't appreciate being associated with, like, through a whole generation for something that's like a few people, if that makes sense. Because now even adults are doing it and it's bothering the hell out of me. Regardless, that's a different topic for another video. So the second one is about that, and that also refers to the trailer that is on my channel and why the short film isn't here. I'm still working on that. I know. end of April, almost May. Yay. And then the third one is called The Aryan, which will be out the next day after The Cold-Hearted President. And it's about a girl who I've known of because of my best friend and more like sister. But she's like made it her life mission to destroy me pretty much and like ruin shit for me. So it was her that was my last straw. I had written The Cold-Hearted President first to like get like my anger out onto paper because I put all my ideas into my writing. So it's more of like a write and stick in the drawer. But then after this happened with her, I was like, I'm writing about her now. And then I remembered that I had previously written about the other two people involved. And I was like, okay, I'll make this a trilogy. So The Aryan is about her. And I run more of a risk, I say in the story at the end of it, I run more of a risk with her because the other ones are seniors. They're leaving. They can't really do anything to me if they wanted to with the school-wise, because the Aryan is with a sophomore and I'm a sophomore, so she's basically going to follow me there. But I have proof, and for all of these, I have proof for everything that I'm saying. These stories are nonfiction. They are 100% true. And you guys can say all you want that I'm lying, that I'm manipulating, I'm slandering you. I'm not, because I admit to things that have happened that are true, but I also reveal that you guys have twisted some things to make me look worse, that you go after people, and you basically will do anything to make me more isolated and alone for things that are stupid and that aren't going to matter in years when you are in your career and have your job, you get married and have kids. Like, you're going to look back on this in one of two ways. You're going to say, or actually one of three ways. You're going to say, wow, I can't believe I did that to that person. Two, your kids are going to find it, or potential love interest to be like, wow, my boyfriend/girlfriend did that? Really? To this girl that essentially did nothing, and if did something very small. Or you'll look at it and be proud of it, which, go ahead. I'm just exercising my right to free speech and getting out my side of the story. Because that's how things in the real world work. You hear both sides. I'm not like most of you that are in the story that jump to conclusions or over-exaggerate or this or that to hate this person. How I perceive things is I calm down, relax, analyze the situation that's going on, process it, and then come to a conclusion after that. I ask questions that need answers. I figure this out. I hear multiple sides of the story. Like, you know how they say there's two sides to every story? There's a million sides to every story. I'm sure if you ask their friends, they're going to give their opinion. Will it most likely be biased? Yes. If you ask my friends, will it be biased? Maybe. Yes. It's going to be messed up either way. But all that'll make me sleep at night is knowing that all of us involved know the truth and that I got my side out there and that it will satisfy me. That I'm like, okay, my side's out. Everyone knows the truth about these people. I have proof where I need proof. I have protection where I need protection. And I can't get affected. If they would like to go to the school, please, by all means, I will not take these videos down. This is me recording, me saying this. I will not take the videos down because of free speech, it being my life, my story, and the fact that if they do threaten to kick me out or do this or do that, that'll be discrimination for speech. I get that it's school, but I'm not threatening to kill these people, essentially. As long as I'm not basically putting out a serial killer thing, I shouldn't have to worry. This shouldn't be an issue. I should not be doing this in the first place. But our school system is so messed up that it's not even funny. That even the school I'm in now hasn't really done anything about this. And if they had, it obviously hasn't sunk in these kids, not even kids, adults. They're 18, pretty much all of them, except for the Aryan story, are 17 to 18-year-old adults that are going to be graduating and going into the real world with basically like snowflakes or loving to lie and manipulate and stuff like that. That they feel like they need to harass a 16, almost 17-year-old girl who doesn't talk to them, who keeps to themselves and makes it very clear that they do not want any trouble and just want to be left alone with the little friends that they have and do what makes them happy. Essentially what they do. But they can't handle it. And I don't appreciate that I have to do this. I really don't like that I am now sitting here recording this video to protect myself. And it's just ridiculous that I have to do this. I gotta repeat myself over and over because to get it through y'all's heads, the ones that need it. And second, just to like concept it. Like I'm looking back on these stories as I'm reading them to the camera and I am like, I can't believe this happened. Some people are probably gonna think that I'm making it up because of what has happened in my life. But I have had these stories looked at by people that needed to look at it. The most important ones are law enforcement that say that these are okay for me to share, that there's nothing that they can do about it. I have lawyers, if need be, on standby about it for a case. If need be, I really doubt that'll happen. I've had friends look at it that are involved in the story to be like, hey, this did happen, right? This happened. Oh, no, that didn't. Let me change it so it doesn't look like I'm lying. Like, I'm making sure I say everything in here so it can be done and over with. Y'all that are in the first two stories are about to go to the real world, into college, and I hopefully will never see you again. So if you guys really do want me to take it down that bad, doesn't that say something that you're going to still be butthurt about a kid doing this to you? When if it's not true, shouldn't you not be worried about it anyway? Considering if it's not true, then you can argue it. You wouldn't be worried, scared, or want me to take it down unless it was true. Or something along the lines. So those are the 3 stories of the Shadow Trilogy. I hope you guys enjoy them. And after I upload the 3 stories, there will be an author's note at the end of small details that I may have left out, or another disclaimer thing. At the beginning of each story, there will be a personal disclaimer, people's faces and pictures that I need to use for context. Otherwise, then there's nothing there. Are censored. The people's faces that are in the photos that I used, I think I only used 2, are censored. Names are censored, so they cannot sue me for those reasons as well. As I've said, I'm making sure I hit all my bases. So everything should be clarified in this video. I hope you guys will enjoy the stories. I did work really hard on them. And I will answer any questions that you guys leave in the comments about them in my final video, if you guys leave any. And I hope that the people that the stories are about, it'll finally sink into their heads about this, because a lot of them say that I won't say anything to their faces when it's not that. It's just I want to drop the shit, but you obviously don't want to. So I want to make it public here where it'll last forever. So you can look back on it and be like, wow, I was such an idiot. And go ahead and say all you want about me. If you still think that you were right and I was wrong or anything like that, because all that matters to me is that I can sleep peacefully at night knowing that the truth's out there and you have to lie awake at night with all the lies that you did. Or sleep peacefully, depending on if you're a psycho or not, which I could make that argument if I really wanted to. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little announcement of my Shadow Trilogy. I look forward to posting it, and I will see you guys on the next one. That is a wrap. Bye!